Hello, sexy souls. All right, we are here for another coffee and tarot. Get your cup of coffee or lemon water, smoothie, juice. I don't care what you drink. Sit your happy little ass down and let's tap into the energies to see if there's a message for you today, okay? We're going to start with the Healing Path Oracle. Ooh, baby. Okay. Okay, they want, all right. I heard you. Victim consciousness, inner child, and sexual arts. Right away I can tell that this is going to be for anybody who has been having difficulty with tapping into their sensuality, love of self, and possibly creativity. I gotta be honest with you, because your sacral chakra really is the epicenter of all creation, which your sexual energies are tapped into. So I'm gonna put the PBA out. If you are under the age of 18, you don't need to be watching this. Just saying, it's probably not gonna apply to you, because the chaos during teenage years, woo, is astronomical. Alrighty, so this is a sense of somebody who has, at the heart of it, been taken advantage of in regards to vulnerability. And may have been feeling like you have been utilized as an outlet. I'm getting that you've been utilized as an outlet for someone's insatiable appetite for actually energy through the method of sex. What I want to say is that you crossed hairs at some point, and I think that you're pretty much aware of this. Crossed hairs at some point that I feel like not so much that you may have. The act of sex was utilized as a method of gauge to determine whether or not you were loved or to gain love. I use quotes on that one. Or as a method to have validation for your worth. Now this applies, I'm going to tell you right now, masculine, feminine, whatever gender you identify with, or whatever it is, it doesn't really matter, because this occurs to everyone. I have seen men utilize, in the traditional sense of the term men, utilize sex as a way of validating and feeling good about themselves, whether it is their performance to the degree of their sense of worth in this world. Meaning that I've worked with individuals before where the amount, or if they could get it, determined whether or not they were. And that's whether you're in a relationship or not. Meaning that even those that are in partnerships, this idea and this notion that, there isn't love, or that there isn't, like they would feel satisfied and feel comfortable in their own skin if they were getting the type and degree and level of affection through sexual acts. And so this can play out in ways, and this might be TMI for too many people, I don't know, but this can play out in ways where it's whether you were engaging in acts 2 times a week or 20 times a week, didn't matter. Never felt like it was enough. There's always like what's wrong, and is everything okay, and well, how come you don't do this, and how come like they get their sense of, right? Same with feminines and females. we all garner, engage. There's been a heavy programming within our society of this. And it feels as though, to me, somebody was programmed at a really young age that their worthiness, not just through, this feels like family actually feeding in. So this feels like the people that you should have trusted to guide you and cultivate an environment where you could be yourself and really flourish, felt like the best way to help you survive or exist in this world was to teach you the very toxic programming of sexuality has some kind of connection to your worth. It created a lot of wounding. I am picking up on a masculine at this point who either didn't receive the attention that others around them did, or didn't receive the same type of attention that others said that they should have, and then was at the brunt of very mean interactions because of that, for the sake of having fun, or for the sake of just kidding, or things like that, like people getting their kicks at the expense of another. And so they took that, the act of or the lack thereof, the lack of sexual attention, in addition to the lack of appropriate affection that they received from the home. So there might have been a lot of abandonment, wounding going on, emotional neglect. And so they married the two of those together. I'm really getting a story right now. And the idea is that there is a sense of victim mentality where they are picking up on things external to them. Now, you can be feminine, but they are definitely giving me a scenario where I can pick up on a masculine energy. So this can apply to everybody. But this loop of it continues to happen, of not receiving, not ever feeling completely validated, regardless of whatever expectations you are feeling that you created, or the checklist that you created as a child because of things that you encountered with your family and society. So there's just this sense of it never feels like it's enough, or it never feels like it hits the right spot, or that it fills any kind of void. And there is an understanding at this point, this is deeply rooted, and it has misconstrued the act for you, your ability to create a connection that is on a deep level. So sex for you is utilized as a very surface level interaction, a momentary reprieve from stress. It's meant more for the ego, and I think that there's a sense of not wanting that any longer, recognizing that doesn't, and not understanding why you can't seem to create a connection during that. And there's a redefinition that's needing to happen in regards to the purpose, intent, and what your sex appeal and your sexual nature does for you as a human. Reprogramming yourself so that it is more of a way to connect with the soul versus to connect with your ego. Let's see here what the specifics are. We're going to go ahead and we're going to first use Hermetic Tarot. We are then, as a trigger warning, well, this whole thing might be triggering a whole lot of fucking people. I don't know. But we will be pulling from the Tarot of Sexual Magic as well. This has created a lot of tension and stress and anxiety within your life. Entering into relationships has been difficult because, again, the only way you know how to gauge how things are going, or one of the main factors in understanding and gauging how things are going and feeling solid and comfortable and secure within that relationship, is through your previous definition of the sexual relationship you have with another. And it's impacting you on knowing where to pour your cup. So with the Knight of Cups, this is the offer. This is who you're willing to offer this to. And this is, the Knight is not as precise as the King is. The King doesn't pour his cup into any old area. He's going to pour it into something that reciprocates. And you're realizing and recognizing that what you've engaged in is not reciprocating the type of energy that you are wanting. There's a sense of this disconnect that you have during these types of affectionate acts. Builds to give you a false understanding of your like you have this, you feel like you have the inability to connect with another person. Like there's just never going to be somebody that I can connect with like that. And there's a sense of this is impeding you feeling like you can move forward in your life. Because let's take a look at this. When your heart chakra is the epicenter of your life force, okay? It is where your lower chakras and your higher chakras meet, okay? The lower energies being the sacral, the root chakra, and the solar plexus, which is really your 3D understanding, existence, energies, right? Your heart allows you to experience this human existence, the 3D existence. Likewise, your feelings and emotions can also be the conduit for you to experience the very spiritual, your crown, your third eye, and your throat, which is your truth, the core of who you are, your energetic core. When those two marry together, that's why we sometimes feel like feelings and emotions are conflictual, that they're competing with one another, that it doesn't make sense, that you feel like you're back and forth, because that is the one aspect within the being where both come together to understand one another. And so that's the reason why we consider that the life force. It brings everything to life. It is necessity for the lived existence that we are having, and not being able to, even shutting it off a little bit, constricts and constrains all the other energies and all the other sources of those energies. And so then it impacts all areas of life and how you experience it. So when we are feeling closed off in one particular area of life, like I always say, this is systems theories, nobody operates in a vacuum. One area of life always impacts the others to some certain degree, like a domino effect. And so when you're closing off your heart chakra, when you're feeling not just detached but numb, then that's going to impact everything else, like the King of Pentacles. It is impacting your ability to do that. It is impacting your ability or your desire to even want to try. King of Cups. So you hide your emotions a lot. You hide them. You don't express them. You feel them very deeply. You're guarded. And you feel stagnant. Nothing is moving. You feel like you have been put on time out in this existence right now. But this is also about needing to get a different perspective. The point of being the King of Cups is knowing when and where to pour your cup, not that you don't. And the Seven of Wands comes on the heels or after, the Six of Wands, where there's been a victory. This is meant to maintain a positive energy, not necessarily to prevent any energies or the experience of the energies. All right, we're going to pull the Tarot of Sexual Magic. Some of the reads lately have been very, I don't know how to explain it. The energies are very lower, grounded, very solemn to a certain degree. So if you've noticed a change in the way that I am doing some readings here recently, that's the reason why. It is preventing you from taking any type of action or manifesting anything within your life that remotely looks like a connection. I feel like there is a person that you are seeking or wanting or desiring to approach, and you are just afraid. Look at how he's approaching. He's kind of like creeping behind her, and it's a little bit like, and she's not, she wasn't paying attention. Her back is to him. But there is somebody that you are definitely wanting, that there is a draw to, that you can't shake, and you're not really understanding the closed off feelings that you have are preventing you from having the confidence and bringing this to fruition. There's a lot of fear around making any type of offers or any forward movement down anything that resembles, it's almost as if you'd rather have, and I'm not saying you consciously do this, but it's almost like it's easier to have the act without the connection than to have the connection, period. And we're talking about like a very deep, more soul level type of a connection with somebody versus surface level interactions, surface level masks. You know, meeting somebody's mask versus meeting them, who they truly are. And so it's almost a way of you not being truly seeing yourself. And so, but you're feeling a pull. You're definitely feeling a pull, because with the Queen of Wands, this is somebody who doesn't have to take any action. There's just this undeniable string that just pulls you or something in. She attracts it. It's an energetic alignment. And so there's something that you feel very drawn to, a person that you feel very drawn to, or even just the idea and notion of, I really want this, but I never feel confident enough or secure enough to go after this. Ten of Swords. You operating from the programming that you had previously, or up to this point, has led to a lot of disappointments. But in this particular one, you're hurting yourself. And I hate to point this out. Y'all are going to laugh like fucking... She's pinching her own nipple. For shit's sake. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It's like, it's so wham. You're not speaking your truth. You're not filling your own cup up. You're not really taking care of yourself. You've lost the passion in you to even try. You see all of the connections around you. You've obviously spent some time reflecting, and it's just, you're at this point, the only thing that's hurting you is you. Oh, that's a lot. Okay, I'm gonna put that back. That's a book. I'm not in the mood for a book right now. You're resisting, you're holding back. And whoever this person is doesn't have a fucking clue. No clue whatsoever. And for all the inner child work that you have done to try and heal these connections, this programming that has occurred over time, to really enjoy and understand and explore, sex in its divine form. You're still holding back. You're still afraid. This is the moment of truth where you really have to now walk that talk that we always talk about, you know, where it's the embodiment process, and you're just not going there. And somebody could have done this. If you're a female, I feel like somebody could have done this to you as well, where their sense of self-worth and validity and came from, or even their sense of love came from the act, engaging in the act with you, but not being able to meet you emotionally or in any other capacity within the relationship. And so it left you feeling used. It left you feeling like it was useless to be vulnerable and open and to give things a shot. So I feel like this is gonna apply to a lot of people. But whatever side of the coin you are in these types of energies, it left you hesitant, it left you questioning, it left you not wanting to just give that away. But the problem is, it's not that you have to be in a relationship, but not even remotely being open to that type of an exchange whatsoever closes you off and impacts all the other areas of your life. So you hesitate. Whatever it is that you want, or who, I'm going to say who, these are definitely people, they're not aware of how much you want them. And so there's even when they approach it, look at the feminine, you know, here and here. Even when they approach, there's this lack of, oh, for the love of God, a willingness to move forward, to giving it a shot. In traditional tarot, the Four of Cups is all about staring at the 3 cups that you have before you and not even considering the other one that's being presented as a particular option for you. Gosh. Take the necessary steps to go through this transition. The healing work that you have been doing needs to now be grounded into your reality. And the only way to do that, the only way to reprogram yourself, is just begin going through the actions and allow yourself to have the experiences. And I think if you open up and you allow yourself to begin these experiences, you'll be surprised at what is reciprocated to you, at what you'll find. Because the 3 of Wands, ships coming in. But in this particular deck, they've got both the string of fate tied to both of their legs. Ace of Wands is the having the desire. The 2 of Wands is taking the desire, the draw. You're feeling drawn to give this a go again, put yourself out there to engage, or with a very particular person. And you can't deny that. But you're holding yourself back. You have to make the decision to give it a go, to try and give your cup away. And it has been a transitionary period, but it's time to ground this in. All of this change and this evolution that you've been in, it wasn't for naught. The whole point of this was to attempt to have a connection like this within this existence as a human being. You will have success. You will find a true, genuine connection. Something good and positive will come of this if you give this a chance, if you give it a shot. You can find contentment, joy, and happiness with someone else, the Ten of Cups. And then the Knave of Wands. You will find that spark again. You will have that seed that's been planted, that spark, that chemistry with another person, and you can trust that. You can trust that. All right, I hope you have a fantastic, wonderful day, and I hope this was beneficial to you.